All right. Good afternoon, class. Today's topic is the immune system. Let me start off by saying that it's a very, very, very broad topic. So we want to get a brief understanding of what the immune system is and what it does. So that's our goal today. Okay. So when somebody asks you what is the immune system, what do you say?
Protecting your body.
Okay, protecting your body. My question is, what is the immune system? Does anyone want to take a guess?
System protecting our body.
I'm sorry?
System which protects our body.
Okay, system that protects our body. Better, right? Okay, so the general answer to this question is, some people will say the body's ability to fight germs and foreign invaders that don't belong inside of us. Okay, and that's a good general answer. But that is what the immune system does, right? What it is something different. So what it is it's a combination, it's a network. So it's a network of cells, tissues, and organs that work together to fight off the foreign invaders, also known as the pathogens. Okay, so in this class, this guy here is our pathogen. Okay, so I will introduce to you the other cells that belong to the immune system that will help us fight this guy when the pathogen enters inside our system.
What is tissue? Tissue in our tissue?
Okay, so this is how our system is organized. So the simplest unit is the cell, and cells collectively form tissues, and tissues form organs. Okay, and then organs get together form organ systems. So our digestive system is a system that's made up of multiple organs, including the stomach. Does that clarify? Okay, great. Okay, so how do you think these foreign invaders attack our body? Or before that, does anyone want to tell me don't look over here, what some of the sources are of these invaders, such as the bacteria or the viruses or fungi and all these other parasites that can enter inside of us? What are some possible sources of them entering inside our body?
Breathing.
I'm sorry?
Breathing.
Breathing. Okay, breathing. A lot of these microbes are airborne, right? When I say airborne, it just means that they're lurking around in the air, and we might breathe in something, and the next thing you know, you might fall sick, right? For example, the influenza virus acts that way. Right, anything else besides breathing?
The wound on the skin.
Wounds on the skin, okay, so they can penetrate through the skin. Okay, so that's here. We have inhalation, breathing. Intimate contact, if you have a wound, then if the bacteria or whatever the microbe gets in contact with it, then it can enter your body through the bloodstream. Okay, has anyone ever gotten food poisoning before?
Oh yeah.
Right? So food is another big source of how these guys enter inside us. And how many of us have gotten mosquito bites for the past month so far that we've been here in Delaware?
Everybody.
Everyone, right?
Everyone.
Yeah. So insects and animals, insect bites, animals, all of those things. All of these factors are routes of infection of how bacteria, viruses, and other pathogens enter inside our body. Okay. So for example, if I'm a parasite and you are out taking a late night walk on the greens, I can come, poke you, and infect you. Basically, you can get malaria from that. Okay? So yeah, pretty scary. So the important observation here is that these are just some of the primary ways, but there are so many ways that pathogens can infect us. Okay? But the question is, how is it that if there are so many different things out there to get us, that we don't always just every minute of our lives fall sick, right? So there must be something inside of us that's protecting us, right? It's not magical. It's not anything, up in the air that just looks after us and protects us. So, yes?
Is there any good microbes that the immune system still attack them?
Yeah, we'll get into that. That's more complicated. So sometimes there are microbes and bacteria, healthy bacteria living inside of us, that the immune system might get tricked into thinking that it's acting against us, and then it might attack us. So for example, arthritis is caused by something similar of that sort, where the immune system basically develops something called autoimmunity, and that basically means that it will recognize something that's good for our body as an invader and attack it. Cancer is another
Yeah.
kind of debatable type thing, but that's a good point.
Okay.
Okay, so all right, so we have our wound, because that's the example that you guys use. So we have our wound, and let's say a mosquito comes here and stings us, right? So now we have been infected, okay? So the thing is, even though we have been recently infected by, whether it's an animal or whatever bacteria that comes and, infects us, there are a lot of different layers of protection that the pathogen has to go through. So first of all, it has to go through the skin, right? But then it also has to go through the different layers. So the dermis is the first layer. Then there is the epidermis, and then there is the tissue inside of us that it has to get through. And let's assume that it does get inside, right? Let's assume that it does get inside. So eventually, when it gets inside of our digestive system and things like that, it's going to get into the stomach. And then there's hydrochloric acid that will destruct it, right? So there are a lot of things that can help us fight these pathogens. Now, since we're talking about the immune system, there are cells in our body. So here are our cells. We've got a neutrophil. The neutrophil will kill bacteria. So whenever you have an E. coli trying to attack your body or weaken your immune system, this guy, the neutrophil, will just go and engulf it and basically attack it. Okay, so this is one of the different tools of the immune system that helps us fight infections. Now our second tool is the basophils. So I was talking about the mosquitoes earlier, right? So when we got the mosquito bite, there's an inflammation, right? So we all think, oh my God, now I've got this big bump on my skin, what am I going to do? Well, that bump is there because of histamines that these guys, basophils, secrete, and that causes the inflammation. It's actually something that protects us. It's good for us. And lastly,
why any insects bites us and there is swelling, it's good for us, right?
well, it's a line of protection. The inflammation will keep the bacteria intact, like keep the bite in place before it goes and spreads. And good question though. And lastly, these are the macrophages. Okay, so these guys basically just float around our immune system looking for microbes, looking for these pathogens to come and harm us. And as soon as it finds something, it'll just go and engulf it. It'll just go and eat it up, gobble it up like a monster. Okay, so we want these guys. These are the macrophages. So does